What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark with The Better Mark, and let's get into tonight's NBA slate. This is going to be a good one, guys. Make sure you guys all stick around to the end of this video. Smash that like button, and please subscribe down below. And not just because I almost swept the board in last night's contest, right? Kind of thought I did for a second there with the New York Knicks blowing out the Charlotte Hornets, but that's something where, we look at what exactly happened, and we did get a little fourth quarter magic where they were able to backdoor us in that contest, okay? But 2 for 3, as long as we don't get a unforeseen 100-plus point quarter out of the Milwaukee Bucks and Phoenix Suns game. So for those of you that were out there that tailed me, congratulations. Enjoy that comeback, because I did go 0 for 3 the day before. So I'm going to keep it real with you guys, keep it 100. But as I said, guys, make sure you all subscribe down below, because I'm working on some things from the social platforms. It's a new channel. I appreciate you guys all being part of the team here. I am going to get my props, my best bets out for the Super Bowl. I want to do this in a fashion where it can be more of an exclusive, I should say, offering for some of you guys. I'm really trying to start this community within the Better Mark, get a nice little following, as well as this material out distributed to you guys in enough time before the Super Bowl kicks off. But that's where we're at on that one. But let's get into tonight's contest, right? Where we're going to talk about the first game, right? Cleveland Cavaliers in Washington taking on the Wizards. And this is where it's too big of a number for me, okay? I know the Cavs are probably the hottest team in the NBA right now. Probably, for those of you that do not know, they are my team. So you're going to be hearing that a lot. I'm going to, give them the shout out, but I do try to keep it 100. I really take the bias out so I can be as objective as I can within my sports wagering. And this is where we look at the Cavs on the road. It's too big of a number for me, 10.5. I'm not liking it. I know Washington has their struggles, but guys, despite the success of the Cavaliers, it's too big of a number for me. Never bet against a streak to end, but I'm not comfortable laying this number on the road, okay? But this is where we come into the Cavaliers, and you look at a couple things, a couple leans that I will tell you about. I think the thought that Darius Garland is back at full strength. That's attractive, okay? So I'm going to be looking at the points. I think it's 14.5, as well as Darius Garland points and assists. I think you can find that in that 18-19 range, okay? And then secondly, Max Strus, outstanding performance, firing up, really knocking them down against the Kings. That's something where I'm going to be backing possibly Max Strus over 9.5 points. Just takes a few shots, right? We just need 4 buckets, 3 threes, and a free throw. We get home with that one. The stats really aren't there if you look at historical trends, but it's something where he got the hot hand right now, so I'm not opposed to backing him. But those are just leans, guys, not official plays. But we get into the next game, Toronto at Charlotte, taking on the Charlotte Hornets, and we look at a total that's crept down from 226 and all the way down to 224.5. I'm going to be taking that under 224.5. Just too many points for me. I got to trust my power rankings on this one. So I'm going to be taking the under 224.5 within Toronto at Charlotte. So that's play number 1. And then let's get into Golden State at Philadelphia. Okay, so this is going to be a play and not so much of the side or the total, but this is a kind of a lean and something where I just got to trust the numbers, guys. I don't know how he can get home. From a daily fantasy standpoint, I've backed him pretty strongly and very much, in line with the value on a day in and day out basis. But Tobias Harris, it's just too much, guys. I'm really going to be looking at that 33.5. I think you can find a 34.5 out there. Points, rebounds, and assists. I'm taking the under. I don't see him getting home. If you look at the historical trends, some of the stats over the recent days in contests, just too much for me in that regard. All right, but then we're going to get into more and more coverage when we talk about the next game. Okay, so that was play number 2. San Antonio taking on the Miami Heat. That's something where we look at this not being an official play, but it would be a lean if you can find the Spurs plus 9.5. I'm not sure where that number exactly is right now, but when we look at the Spurs taking on the Miami Heat, Miami is kind of a dumpster fire in some form or fashion. I don't know if you guys were able to watch a couple highlights and see the look of the stain on Pat Riley's face from a Cavs fan and having to dealing with that LeBron exodus way back when I was really in the prime of my basketball days. It does do me some justice and gives me a nice little pause when we look back at those days and see Pat Riley sitting there after LeBron got his first championship when he learned how to be an NBA champion, his days in South Beach. Okay, but that one still leaves a mark, guys. Getting left twice, especially it's not a girlfriend, but LeBron was pretty much as close as you can get to if you're from Northeast Ohio within being a quote-unquote sports girlfriend, if you want to get into that narrative. But next game, we're going to get into Atlanta all right, in Boston, taking on the Celtics. Okay, this is another one where we're going to look into something where I want to talk about, you guys. This is potential blowout city. Okay, as simple as that, guys. I foresee the Celtics scoring close to, if not above, 130 points. So if you guys are into team totals, that is one lean I would have, taking the Celtics above their team total. But if you guys haven't watched Atlanta Hawks play basketball professionally, they score a lot of points, but they also give up a lot of points in bushels, guys. Simple as that. So when we talk about the Celtics hosting the Atlanta Hawks, this is something where I'm going to be looking at blowout potential, and something where the Celtics are coming off a very much rested schedule. It's a great position for them. So, you know, if you're going to take and lay the 12, lay the 11.5, I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to be mad for you for doing that. That's something where, you know, it's just too big of a number for me as well. But I do lean towards Boston and the over in that contest. Okay, and that's kind of where we're at. It's just a fully rested Celtics team hosting a team that really doesn't play any defense. So that's where we're at in that contest. And lastly, we're going to get into a couple games out on the West Coast, right? We're going to talk about the Clippers hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Pelicans, guys, they're kind of legit. A little bit of Jekyll and Hyde, a little bit too much for me in my liking. They can win by 30 and lose by 30. You can't really predict them, but that's something where I do not want to get in the way of the Los Angeles Clippers. Kind of one of my value plays where I was able to get them at a high number in terms of an NBA championship futures bet when we talk about the Clippers. And that's something where we look into this number being at 6.5, guys. I'm just not getting in a way of a winning streak. They're playing really, really hot. This is going to be a game that I'm going to watch. I'm going to be staying up watching this 10 p.m. contest. And that's something where it's just too many points at 6.5. So I'm going to stay away from this one as well. Like I said, I don't like to get in the way of streaks in either direction. And lastly, Sacramento hosting Detroit. Okay, so Detroit, obviously, guys, you know about their track record, you know about their story. You know, breaking losing records and testing those numbers time and time again. Sacramento is a hot team, so this is going to be something where I'm going to get in this as well. It's a very, very much a big position for Sacramento, getting blown out on the road against the Cavaliers, coming home, and this is where I like Sabonis. Okay, he's been absolutely crushing lately, but 42.5, that's something where we're going to have to take a dive. We're going to have to take a stand. Detroit gives up a ton of points. Over 42.5, it's a big number for points, rebounds, and assists, but that PRA, if you guys are into that side of the game, Sabonis over PRA, that's just a lean, non-official play. And that about does it for us, guys. Just to recap, we're going to be taking Boston over team total 127.5, as well as the Tobias Harris under 33.5 PRA, as well as Charlotte under 224.5. All right, so those are my three plays for tomorrow. Locked them in. We'll have an update later on in the day if there's any changes with injuries, any news noteworthy of you guys. I'm going to be posting that around tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you guys all subscribe. Turn on a notification bell. Never miss a beat when we drop something on the channel. Thank you guys for being all a part of the team here. And as I said, guys, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button and let me know your thoughts. If you guys have anything you want to fade me, tail me, feel free, drop them all down below. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.